When I'm out there talking to people about the egg industry, I have a lot who tell me that they actually only get their eggs from either their own chickens or from a friend. All are free range, the chickens are loved, sometimes even rescue chickens. They believe they're doing the right thing. Hmm, what to say? First, let's cue the intro. Hi, Fee here, the healthy vegan author and creator of the Gold Card Vegan resource site and club. Right at the top here, I have to say that if you're vegan, you're not eating eggs anyway, right? There's no such thing as a vegan who eats eggs. If you do eat eggs or you have the occasional piece of cheese, you really can't call yourself a vegan, you're vegetarian. So what about those backyard chickens? We all know that the egg industry relies on factory-styled egg farms. The chickens may be in cages, which in most countries they are. Here in New Zealand, the cages are being phased out and a new system is coming in called Colony. It's just another cage. It's bigger, more chickens in each one. Ooh, but it has a perch and a wee area to scratch on. The point that these cages are still made of metal wire seems to be overlooked. Plus, it's still a cage. Now, the label says colony. The word cage is removed. And so the general public thinks that's a much better way. We've been pushing to not have to switch to colony, but right now not had a lot of success. The farmers are bleating on about how they need to house their chickens in cages, colonies, in order to meet demand. And here in New Zealand, there still are caged hens, and there will be, because those eggs are exported. They're not for local market. However, more and more farmers are going free range, and here's the kicker on that. The large commercial free-range chickens actually live in barns. There's the laying ones. Well, the other eating chickens do too. But we're talking the layers. They live in these barns with the side doors that are open so they can go outside. Therefore, they can be classed as free range. However, many chickens don't venture that far. Why should they? There's plenty of food, there's perches, etc. in the barn. A study was done in 2015 into 3 different styles. So you had the cages, the colony, and the barns. And it was interesting because it showed that mortality was the highest in the barns. So we don't want to buy eggs from these types of farms because we know that the birds have a short life and it's not exactly a happy one at that. That's when we think it's okay to have eggs from backyard chickens. Now, I see 3 problems with this. So I'll go through them. Number 1, backyard chickens have to come from somewhere. People buy these hens not realizing that they have been raised in the commercial world, meaning the baby boy chicks are still killed. Oh, and that reminds me, I heard today that France is putting a stop to the live grinding, the macerating of these babies, these male chicks, and it's apparently going to stop by the end of 2021. Bit of a hoo-ha. The industry says that doesn't give them enough time, but the government is adamant. My concern over that, it's great, but, and it's a big but, what's the alternative? Whatever it is, it will still be cruel. Killing baby chicks just because they're male is inhumane anyway, period. Doesn't matter how you do it. No. Now, where was I? Yes. Unless the chickens have been born in the wild or in someone else's backyard, which isn't exactly nice either, taking the chickens away from their families is not really great. There is definitely cruelness around the procurement of them. So number 2, laying eggs is not the easiest thing a chicken does. Just like any other mammal, including us, the chicken ovulates for reproduction or reproductive purposes, okay? The creating of and the passing of the large egg, and it is large in relation to their body size, is quite physically taxing. In the wild, the chicken will produce 1 or 2 clutches. That's the little group of eggs. And they'll do usually only 1, sometimes 2 clutches a year, which is around 10 to 15 eggs. That's all they do. Now, a farmed chicken, who I might add has been genetically engineered, will lay anywhere between 250 and 300 eggs a year. That's nearly 1 every day. That's insane. So because during the formation of the egg a lot of calcium is taken from the mother, that calcium deficiency can cause the chicken to get osteoporosis. Now in the wild and the backyards, the chicken has the instinctive kind of nature to eat eggs that have broken or not fertilized in order to replenish the calcium that is lost. So obviously the farmers need to give supplements to the chickens. Now, where does all this leave the backyard chicken? Like I said, a chicken only produces enough eggs in order to assure the survival of the flock. So they lay a clutch of eggs and that's all. But when the homesteader goes down to the chicken coop each morning and removes the egg that has been laid that day, and normally they only lay 1 egg a day, the chicken will lay another one in its place. This means that a well-fed backyard chicken can lay around 250 eggs a year. Pretty similar to the commercial chickens. So, you know, that's a massive difference between 15 eggs and 250 eggs. It stands to reason that there is a huge amount of stress placed on their bodies. It's no wonder they suffer. You're not supposed to take the eggs. And number 3, and this is the ethical side. Even if you are getting eggs from the kosher backyard or the rescued chickens, it's like you are taking their eggs as a way for the chicken to repay you for giving it a lovely home. Does that make sense? It's kind of like you're saying to the chicken, you owe me for rescuing you or for providing a good home. Even if you don't own the chickens but you're getting the eggs from your friend, you have an expectation that these hens will provide you with something that is fundamentally theirs and not yours. So you are still buying into their enslavement. And now it's time for the wee bonus fact. Let's look at the eggs from the health perspective. Eggs are rich in cholesterol, which leads to heart disease. The USDA, which is the United States Department of Agriculture, do not allow words like nutritious, healthy, or anything that is remotely claiming eggs are good for your health because of the fact they contain a significant amount of saturated fat and cholesterol. These give a person a much higher risk of developing heart disease. They also do not allow words that say an egg is safe And this is because most eggs carry the Salmonella bacteria, which is actually naturally occurring. But it also the avian influenza or bird flu virus. To avoid both of these things, eggs should be cooked firm, which most eggs are not. Well, poached eggs and runny eggs, not usually firm. You also have to remember all chickens, regardless if for eating or for eggs, they are fed antibiotics. If you are getting antibiotic-free chicken or eggs, then I want you to know that the chicken has been given a good dose of antibiotics on day 1 of its life. The law antibiotic-free kicks in from day 2. I hope you got something from that, and if you are vegan, you'll be able to use maybe 1 or 2 of those points that I shared next time someone talks to you about eggs. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you've got something from this video, please give it a share, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe. Where is it? There. Clicking the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. Now, YouTube thinks you might like this one. I think you might like this one, but hey, you choose. Remember, have great food, make it whole plant-based, and be compassionate to all animals, including humans. Bye for now.